Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry if you were waiting for MC Liquid, my usual illustrious, very loud and boisterous co-host. He's dropped out on us for this session. So this is just going to be a quick community roundup here with DJ Sam. We're going to go through some product roadmap updates, product updates, and run through what's been happening in the background for CDs. So thanks for joining me, DJ Sam. How's it going?
Oh, very, very good. Busy week, crypto going sideways, but hey, everyone's still optimistic.
Yeah, sideways, I like it. It's a spring ready to coil. The longer it goes sideways, the more it's coiled, the higher it'll bounce.
Well
That's what I'm
said.
hoping anyway.
Well said.
That might just be pure hopium, but that's what I'm clinging on to. Particularly if anybody caught like that the end of that conversation there about crypto tax. Um, some upward trajectory would be very nice. All right, well, let's jump into it. Let's jump straight into it, DJ Sam. So we've got some really nice development updates and some updates regarding the development team and the development team being beefed up. You want to let us know what's going on there?
Yeah, of course. So, hey, as we all know, we're in a post IDO, and a lot of our strategies and roadmap is also being updated. One good thing is on the tech development side, we brought in an official CTO who will be helping us along with new team members as well to ramp up the tech development. So the CTO's name is Simon. He was actually former architect director at Microsoft for I think about a decade, 12 years. So plenty of experience on the tech side. And he did a master's in computer science from University of Illinois. So yeah, very well knowledgeable in the whole general tech computer space.
Yeah,
And yeah,
certainly
he's
sounds
been
like.
working on cross chain, and yeah, it's very reassuring, and we are very excited to have him on board.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off there. So he's doing cross chain testing. Is that correct?
That is correct. So one of the major coins, BTC, cross-chaining that, wrapping it to a native blockchain, and really lowering the fees, and of course increasing the transaction time is something that they're already testing right now.
Okay, that's really cool. Hello, most Uz. Thanks for tuning in, mate. The second ever community roundup. I'll try and do more of these, probably once a fortnight or once every 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how much we have to update with everybody. But hopefully once a fortnight. There's a lot coming up for this end of the year phase. And I've got DJ Sam here to discuss it. So that's a nice little segue actually into some Q4 roadmap updates that we've got. You would want to let us know a little bit about what's going on there, DJ Sam?
Of course. So immediately, actually, in October, we're planning to release a prediction game, which is actually one of the most simple types of derivatives. And the reason why we're doing this is based on the market sentiment, also our roadmap. We feel that being able to have a simple implementation of derivatives would be both fun and also give our users something to play with and really understand what derivatives could be. It doesn't have to be this complex options, things, liquidation, scary thing. So we're working on that. Version 1 again coming out in October. It will have a market to bet up or down on the price of Bitcoin. So we're very excited for that.
Cool, cool. So V1 obviously is going to have Bitcoin prediction markets. Will V1 just be Bitcoin as it stands?
It is. And well, the reason why we do this is we want to roll out the different versions and upgrade along the way. And I think having it come out timely, making sure that people can test it as well as give us feedback is important as we develop more features.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I've also been hinting to people over the last week with our first community vote that there will be more mechanisms coming up for voting in the future in our Discord, just to get community involved because we are a DEX after all. So the more community engagement we get, the better. We want to build products that you guys like and products that you guys want to use. So feedback from our community is really important. And you sneakily have mentioned that perhaps any additional trading pairs for this prediction market may be voted on in the future. Can you confirm or deny these rumors, DJ Sam?
Well, let's just say it makes a whole lot of sense to do that because the tech team could just make a simple decision like, hey, let's take the top 10 market cap crypto and do prediction on it. But if you look at, for example, like Litecoin, I'm not sure if it's even top 10, but it is pretty high up there. Is it the most talked about coin right now? Not really. No one really cares about it, to be quite honest. So I think having the community to tell us, hey, let's do like Solana or let's do XYZ would make a lot of sense for the entire community.
Doge, that's in the top 10. I would actually,
Doge.
yeah, I would actually genuinely use Doge prediction market. I would enjoy that. That's good. Okay, so that's
I
really
think
cool. That's really
Elon
cool.
Musk would too, but
Yeah,
that's yeah,
yeah.
pretty manipulated in terms
Hey,
of the outcome.
there's a very strong marketing angle. Thanks, DJ Sam. I'll take that on board. So we've got the prediction market. In terms of CD's integration and token utility, will there be any sort of functions tied in there with the prediction market?
Absolutely. Otherwise, it wouldn't make much sense in why we're doing this. In our version 3, right now we're just calling internally version 3, we're looking at integrating CDs as a critical component to the whole prediction. So with prediction, the outcome is pretty simple, but in terms of how it's actually being done, you can think about, okay, the payment method, the payout when you win. And also there could be other things to incentivize CDs usage over, say, stablecoin. For example, you get, more chances to win or you pay less in the fee. This is a very, I would say, intricate part that we're carefully designing right now. Hence, we saved it for version 3.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. It's a very important piece of the puzzle to solve for CDs as a whole. So I'm glad that's really been having care and love put into it in order to make sure our community benefits from added CDs, token utility, and integration. So I guess that also means that the CDs token at that stage will also officially become a deflationary token too. Is that correct?
Well, let's just say it already is, but in terms of adding more deflationary mechanics to it, definitely. I
Yeah.
think per transaction, it would make sense if, after the voting is done, part, if not all of it, could be burned. But because it has to be a zero sum thing, unless if the company, puts in like the marketing funds to fuel some of it, we need to be careful, right? How much we're burning as well, because it does have to make sense
Yeah,
in terms of
absolutely.
what goes in and out.
Yeah, we still need CDs to run the ecosystem, don't we? We don't want to burn ourselves out of having any fuel.
Yeah, that's you become way too deflationary at that point if
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
nothing left. Yeah.
It would be a very short-lived project if that was the case. Um, so we've actually got a couple more Q4 product releases coming up in addition to the prediction markets. So the prediction markets is obviously the first cab off the ranks that's coming in the next couple of weeks, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so earlier we talked about cross-chain. Okay, that's come in, right? Because it is necessary part of increasing liquidity and the overall user experience. We
Yeah,
talked about prediction market as one of the first and most simplest type of derivatives. And as CDs, crypto derivatives, of course, the focus is on the longer term outlook of more advanced derivatives trading. And as we've stated in our original roadmap and what we've been talking all along, perpetual trading, so essentially futures without expiry, is still, the dominant and most popular derivatives that we think will take off. I mean, just look at DYDX, look at perpetual finance. These guys are doing well with all due respect. And we want to
yeah,
make sure that we can add more variety and more unique value propositions to what's not out there yet.
yeah. The volume and just pure market share that DYDX has pulled in the last 2 weeks has been absolutely incredible to see. I think it's a really bullish sign and a really bullish catalyst for what's to come in this sort of next leg of the crypto bull run and what's to come in the next couple of years as well. I think when we look back, there's a very good chance that this is the tipping point to crypto derivatives starting to take the leading role in becoming a market maker. Let's say it's going to be really interesting to see this all plays out moving forward. Obviously, incredibly bullish for CDs as a purely crypto derivatives play. All right.
Absolutely. And if you think
Yeah.
much bigger, right now, okay, entire crypto market cap is floating around 2 trillion USD. The traditional equities market, we're talking like stocks, stock market, things like that. That's about 100 trillion USD estimated, roughly. So we're still 50 times smaller than the traditional equities. And you know how big the traditional derivatives market is?
No, please tell me though.
Well, there's different estimations, right? It's only estimations, but like the total
Yeah.
value is, probably magnitudes bigger. It could be hundreds of times bigger than 100 trillion,
Right.
at least 10 times, just because of the fact of derivatives by nature.
Yeah.
So right now, if you think long term, 4 to 5 years, maybe even 10 years from now, when you say crypto derivatives, it's really not a light word to take. So
No.
we really believe in the long-term infrastructure, and it's coming. So might as well
Yeah.
build it now.
Absolutely. Hey, Roy, thanks for the feedback, mate. I'll try and talk a little bit louder. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon, but if you've missed anything I said, we will be transcribing this whole conversation and putting it out as a blog, so nobody will miss out on this. We'll post it on the CD's Twitter and the Medium blog and everything, so don't have to miss out. Sorry about my sound, though. I'll try and get that fixed up for next time.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
being a shark, it's just difficult to open your mouth, huh?
Yeah, it's muffled underwater. It's hard to hear anything underwater, really.
Ah,
I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes, I've been targeting over the next sort of decade a total crypto market cap of somewhere between 150 to 200 trillion. So that definitely puts us in that sort of 100x from now ballpark, which is just insane to think about in terms of the potential growth, not only in CDs but just in general. It's incredible. We're still incredibly early in the scheme of things. Okay, so to wrap things up, we are holding our first ever CDs community vote. This is going on right now in the Discord. So if you want to jump in and vote, jump into the CDs Discord, join the vote channel, and cast your vote. We're voting on what to do with the taxes taking from our staking protocol. There's a 2% tax on withdrawals, and that 2% tax is put into a contract. We're going to tally up that contract at the end of each month or at the end of every 2 months. We're still trying to figure out the timing on that. And we will be putting that to a vote each at the end of that period of time, which we have yet to decide. But at the moment, it's sitting at just over 66,000 CDs, which in the scheme of things isn't a lot. But we wanted to put it to a community vote and sort of test the waters with all of our voting mechanisms and stuff early. So if you jump into the Discord and vote, you can either vote to burn those CDs, and they're taken directly out of the circulating supply. You can vote to airdrop those CDs to all CD token holders, or we have a 50-50 option, which is to burn 50% of those CDs and keep another 50% for the protocol insurance fund. We had a nice little internal debate yesterday about where we think this vote's going to go. I was pretty adamant that the burn option was going to win. At the moment, it is winning. It's sitting at about 75% of the total votes. But I've been surprised to see that the 50-50 option is doing quite well. And I've even had people ask whether or not in future we can change one option to 100% of the total funds go to the protocol insurance fund, which is absolutely something that I'll chuck in the poll moving forward. If people want to fund that protocol insurance fund beyond what we were already going to fund it, then absolutely. I think that's a great idea to give back to our community and protect all of our user bases with liquidations and stuff. So it's really nice to see the community looking out for each other in that way. But yeah, that vote is ongoing. It's going to close in the next couple of hours, but rest assured there will be more votes on additional changes, such as this upcoming prediction market and more tokens to use. And that's all at the moment. Oh, no, sorry. that is not all. I have a special question to address from our lovely Telegram group, DJ Sam. Let me just find it and I'll read it out to you. This is from, so a couple of our members are asking about the IQ protocol from Parsec and what that's going to look like for CD holders once implemented, and what they're working on that side of things. Do you have any insights for us on that side of things, DJ Sam?
I'm glad you asked. It's something I've been wanting to speak about for a long time, and I'd be happy to give hints on what we're doing. So, IQ protocol, with our partners at Parsec, it's very incredible. The more you dive into it, it could be a game changer in terms of specific applications that you need. So the whole idea of IQ protocol is there's several aspects. One is it is like a SaaS subscription model. So anytime you subscribe to something and it's a recurring payment or some sort of recurring service, you need to automate that. IQ is very good and made for that, with everything you can imagine good about DeFi combined. The other aspect is de-lending and borrowing. So that aspect is same as DeFi. However, the good and unique thing about IQ protocol is it's not a traditional DeFi lending where whoever lends the tokens, those exact tokens are being actually borrowed by others, like physically. However, what happens in IQ is when you lend, for example, a token, borrowers do not borrow that token itself, but an expirable version of that token, meaning that they can only borrow for a certain time. It's kind of like buying the right to use a service or some sort of credit for a given time that you borrow for, and then you pay a fee to borrow that. So that's kind of a background of what IQ is. might have lost you there, but it's just important to explain, right, what it is in the first place.
Yeah. So that will be, obviously that's then going to be rolled out to a lot of CD's derivatives products in the future then, I take it?
So good thing is IQ actually launched natively on Binance Smart Chain, and a good move for the Parsec guys because Ethereum gas fees, right, unsustainable right now.
Yeah.
So for us, when you think, okay, what's a recurring thing that happens on a trading platform? There's several things that could happen, but one of them is trading fees. Every single trade that happens, there's always a trading fee. And it's really not a bad model. It works. And it's a good revenue platform. However, what if you can somehow convert that and incentivize frequent traders or even large volume traders to be able to trade at a much cheaper price, but the platform can still make revenue?
Right. Okay. So okay. That's very interesting because that's a problem broadly for the DeFi space at the moment, which is there's essentially a race to the bottom happening in terms of trading fees and what's going on. But if there's some way to get around that, then that's a really powerful mechanism for core protocols to continue with this business model. That's really interesting. Thanks, DJ Sam, for that insight.
Yes, I wish I could share more, but I will leave people to kind of ponder, food for thought.
So we'll have plenty more community roundup sessions to go through any of these additional changes anyway. Thanks Deepam Dan and CoinEsper for that excellent question. I know those guys, they were harassing me last week to get that question out there. They've been really keen for me to get that asked, and I almost forgot, but save the best question for last. Thanks guys for the questions. I appreciate it. If you've got any more questions, by the way, chuck them in the Telegram or the Discord. I'm continually cataloging all of the questions and stuff that gets asked in these channels, and I'll be continually addressing them in these community roundup sessions from now on. So if you've got questions, please let us know, and I'll get either me to answer them or DJ Sam, or we'll get somebody else on to have a chat during these community roundup sessions and get your questions answered. All right, that's just about all we have to address, DJ Sam. Thanks heaps for joining us. I know you're a very busy man. You've got a lot going on. building us amazing derivatives DeFi products for our wonderful CDs token holders and whoever else wants to get involved. So thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it, mate. And that's
Pleasure to be here.
all. Mark, it's good to have you. We will be MC Liquid, MC Gas, and I will be jumping on Twitter Spaces momentarily once this stream ends. Give us about 10 minutes to reset. I need to get a drink of water, go to the toilet, all of that good stuff. But we'll be jumping on Twitter Spaces straight after this. So if you want to tune in, we're going to be talking NFTs, just having a chat. Anybody that wants to is welcome to join us, ask us questions, do your thing. But that's all for now. Thanks again, DJ Sam, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Once again, before I end, if you couldn't hear this or you didn't quite catch any of the questions, there will be a transcript of this, and we'll be posting all of the questions and answers and maybe a couple of juicy little other things in the transcript and a Medium blog, which will go out on Twitter and through all of our normal channels. Cool. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll hopefully see you soon in Twitter Spaces. Bye.